An apostrophe is used as a punctuation in the English grammar. It may be really small, but the use of the apostrophe is very important. And if used incorrectly, it can make a difference to the meaning of the sentence. There are a few rules which I will be discussing. When do we use apostrophes? Apostrophe is used mainly to show possession, and it is also used for contraction, which means if there are two words and you want to shorten it and make it into a one word, then in such cases an apostrophe is used. This is Pam's car. Pam is the name of a person, and when Pam owns a car, then it shows possession. And to show possession, you need to add an apostrophe with an S, and it comes after the name Pam. Farmers' strike ended after they got justice. Now here farmer is a noun. The plural form of farmer is farmers. Now this noun ends in an S. And when we show possession for plural nouns ending with an S, we add the apostrophe after the S. So we write farmers and then the apostrophe. Here are some examples of nouns where the plural form does not end in an S. For example, child. Child is a singular form. The plural would be children, and it does not end in an S. So when we have to show possession, you just have to use the apostrophe and then the S, since the plural form does not end in an S. Similarly, for woman. Woman is a singular form. The plural would be women with an M-E-N. And when you have to show possession, you just have to add the apostrophe and then the S to show possession. When we have to show possession for names ending with S, there are two ways to write it. Let's take an example of the name Agnes. It's a name ending with S. So when we need to show possession, you can either put the apostrophe after the whole name, which is Agnes, and then the apostrophe. Or you can put the apostrophe as the name, whole name itself, and then the apostrophe and then the S again. Both these forms are correct. For inanimate objects, the objects that do not move on its own, for such objects, we do not use an apostrophe. For example, you do not say the tables, chairs need to be fixed. You need to rephrase the sentence as the chair of the table needs to be fixed. The CEO's contribution was remarkable. Here CEO is the abbreviation of Chief Executive Officer. And over here we do not use an apostrophe. We just write it as CEO and the small s without the apostrophe. For capital letters, we do not use apostrophes. We just write, if it is a letter A, then we just write capital A and then an S. For numbers also, we do not use an apostrophe. If it is tens, then you just write 10 and S. And finally, for small letters, you need to show an apostrophe. For small letter A, you have to write A apostrophe S. All these cases are used when we are showing possession. The elephant, its ears are big. Over here, its is written without the apostrophe. We've just written as ITS. Now here it is showing possession. But why didn't we use the apostrophe? If we had used the apostrophe, then it would be its ears are big, which is wrong. So we just need to show possession, and for that we do not use the apostrophe.
This is my dad and brother's car.
Apostrophe used for possession.
Dad and brother's car. Here the possession of the car involves two people, which is dad and brothers. But here I have used the apostrophe only for the brothers, which means both the people own a single car. And whereas in the next sentence, it is dad's and brother's cars. So now here, both the dad and the brother own two different cars, and therefore we need to use the apostrophe for both the dad as well as the brother.
This is my grandparents' car.
Apostrophe used for possession.
This is my grandparents' car. Here, grandparents is the plural form of grandparent, which means here it is more than one person. So, if you say grandparents' car, you're showing possession, and therefore, since grandparents is a noun that ends with an S, the plural form ends with an S, you need to show the apostrophe after the S.
It was bought in the 1980s.
Apostrophe not used.
It was bought in the 1980s. Here, 1980s represent a decade, which means a time period of 10 years. We are talking about the period from 1980 to 1989. And in such cases, we do not use an apostrophe. And the same 1980s, you can contract by omitting the 19. So you can use the apostrophe and then write 80s.
It's such a beauty.
I'll take you for a drive.
Apostrophe used for contraction.
It's such a beauty. Here, it's is the contracted form of it is. So we have just omitted the I in S and added the apostrophe to form it's. I'll take you for a drive. I'll is the contracted form of I will. So now we have removed W and I and have replaced it with an apostrophe which forms I apostrophe double L.